Welcome back to Undisputed. My man Shannon Sharp tells me that Dez Bryant has now taken down the picture that he posted of himself and Dak and some other receivers at a workout with their arms draped around each other, social no distancing. Shannon and I criticized the picture earlier in the show, and maybe Dez was watching Undisputed as he often has in the past. So we appreciate that, Dez Bryant. Now, speaking of Dez Bryant, let's talk some Dallas Cowboys, because Fox Bet has set the over-under on Cowboy victories next year at 9.5, 9.5 wins. So I ask you, Cowboy hater Shannon Sharp, how far under 9.5 are you going to predict?
Half. Then I went, Skip, man, I just wish they would have postponed this extra. I don't really like the extra playoff game, Skip, but hey, it is what it is. I just wish they'd have implemented it next year. So after the 2021 season, but it's going to go in this year, because the Cowboys would have missed the playoff. They don't win 9. You know what, Skip? I'm going to get back to my point. They're not winning 10 games. That's for certain. Now, Travis Frederick. Now, in the 3 years in which Dak had Travis Frederick, he averaged getting sacked 27 times a season. The 1 year without Travis Frederick, he got sacked 56 times. Now, have they replaced him yet, Skip? No, we'll get back to that in a minute. They lost their best corner in Byron Jones. Have they replaced him? Nope, we'll get back to that in a second. What about Randall Cobb, slot receiver? Nope. Robert Quinn? Oh, yeah, they did. They got a guy that hadn't played in 4 years and a guy that hadn't played in 2.5 years trying to replace Robert Quinn, who was your top sacker last year. Mention. Now, they got Eagles twice. They got the 49ers at home, gonna be good. Vikings on the road, bust them up last year. Seattle on the road. We know what Russ does in that building. Steelers at home, Falcons at home, Rams on the road. You're not making the playoffs, Skip. 8-8 won't do it. Even with the extra playoff spot, and this is why it's gonna hurt you so much. Even with the extra playoff spot, you sorry rascals are going to miss the playoffs again.
So, did I just hear Shannon Sharp predict 8-8 next year for the Cowboys?
8-8.
8-8? Okay, I got you on record. Yep. Shannon Sharp says 8-8 for next year's Cowboys. So, I'm going to go 10 wins. I thought about 11, but I'm going to be conservative because they have suffered some big losses. I'm going to go 10 wins, and I'm going to start with this premise. I still believe that my team is good enough within the NFC East to beat the Giants twice and the Redskins twice and the Eagles in Dallas or at Jerry World. So that's 5 wins right there on the way to what I say will be 10 wins. And then I look at the home slate, and they have Arizona. I think that's a win. I think they can beat the Cleveland Browns. This is in Dallas. I think so. The Steelers will be tough, but you could argue they could win that game. And then the Atlanta Falcons, I'm pretty sure they can win that game at home. I'm not positive of any of those games. I just say there's 4 games, and if I give them 4 out of 5, that's vaulting me all the way up to 9 already. On the road, at Seattle, no, I don't think so. Maybe the Rams, maybe they could win at the Rams. I don't think the Rams are going to be that good next year. Vikings will be tough, but you said they got the brakes beat off of them. It was 28-24, and if they just let Dak have the football in his hands, they would have won that game. They do get to play at Cincinnati, so there's one road win. When I say they can win at Cincinnati for sure, and the other road games at Baltimore, that's hard. But if I just give them the 4 home games, non-division, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm saying you gonna beat Baltimore. You giving them that win at Baltimore?
Non-division home games. No, no, I said no. And I'll just say, what if they just win 1 road non-division game? 1, and that would be at Cincinnati. I still think they could beat the Rams at the Rams, get even for that playoff game 2 years ago out here in L.A. at the Coliseum. Now it's going to be in SoFi. Okay, even if they just beat Cincinnati, that would get them, by my count, to 10 wins. and you would be in trouble again and have to eat a lot of crow. But I still say, as I told you earlier in the show, they have made the defense better, because when you go Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe and maybe Alden Smith / Randy Gregory in place of Robert Quinn, but then you add in the secondary Clinton Dix, who's a much better cover safety than Jeff Heath ever thought about being. Then you get Leighton Vander Esch, Wolf Hunter, you get him back, and all of a sudden I say, okay, the defense is a little better than it was last year. It's a little stouter against the run. It's a little more experienced. It's a little more savvy. And DeMarcus Lawrence has to have a better year than he had last year when he did not live up to his $100 million. Now, if I look on offense, they led the league in yards last year, but they're not as good right here, right now on offense as they were last year. I give you that. But still, can Zeke play at a higher level than he did last year? I would hope so, because he didn't live up to his $90 million contract. And can Amari at least give me 1 or 2 road games, maybe at Cincinnati? Could he at least stay on the field for the whole game and catch 5 for 85, maybe? I would think so. He's got his $100 million deal. Maybe he can start to live up to it. Maybe the pressure will be off him now. So I still say this is a good football team.